And then I'll have to do some particulars. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. We did it. Yay, we did it. We're here and we're live. We're live at Let's Paint and Draw Along. My name is Nadine. I'm here with Don Stephens and our friend. Yes, we call her Jewel. That's right, Jewel. How you doing today, Jewel?
Pretty good.
Pretty
Doing pretty
good. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's a little steamy out there, but but that's okay. Now I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. I'm going to try something. Check 1, 2, 3. Maybe that's better. Um, so we are here at Let's Paint and Draw Along. Our new time is 6 p.m. I want to say hello to everyone. We hope you are doing well. I'm going to check the chats. Destinations. I forgot to check the destinations. All right. We're hoping this is going to be a popping night tonight. Definitely. We have been doing things in relation to making something from nothing. It's almost magical, like a magician. You know, we are going to become alchemists yet again another day. So, everyone, you're watching this. I want you to say hi in the chat section. I'll be looking at that. I have to do one particular thing, which is I have to make sure you guys know. Um, oh yeah, I can share the link. So I'm going to share the link so everyone out there in virtual land can enjoy this session of making something from nothing. Yeah, something from nothing. I hope you guys are excited. So you should see that posting up there. And those who follow me will get the alert right away. And I'm so happy that we're able to come to you live, even though we had to juggle a few things. But all is well, everybody. All is well. So, uh, Don, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm all right. Things
Yeah,
good.
things are,
Yeah, running a
yeah,
little late. Had an opportunity to, how would you say, make a little coinage at a couple of little tables that I got to run. You know,
right. Yeah, that
uh,
must be, you know, but that's the part about being an artist, right?
well,
When
yes and no. Many different ways you can do this. It's just that's the way that I've chosen to be more hands-on and to be out in the public spaces and places and being direct with the public arena. You
mm-hmm,
know, you can either be that way or you can work through, you know, an agency like another art gallery or something like that. And
mm-hmm,
there's many different places you can show and do things. Everybody runs tables and slots and spaces. If you check your local mall, they may have days where you can do that. It's just that people don't know what the fees may be for that
mm-hmm,
particular by 10 or something like that type of space. So
right.
if you was look around you, everybody, and you're really into trying to make, you know, extra and things like this, put yourself into the public arena. Look around you. Look in the church organizations, the Boy Scouts, different community organizations. Because a lot of times they'll have a fair or something on the day, or
Mm-hmm,
they'll have a day where they'll have a fair, or they have a special day to commemorate something or do something. And if you don't mind being in the arena and paying what the table fee would be, a lot of times in that arena it's anything from like 20 to maybe I've seen it and I've paid up to $100. But
really?
yeah, the $100 table though is that they're letting you know with confidence that they're gonna have a certain amount of people come through based upon how many years they've done it.
Right.
So if you can understand that and have the confidence in that and the confidence in what you have to present to the public, then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you'll make that $100 back at that fair. Now, is it
Mm-hmm.
5,000 people, stuff like that? Some of them they are, some of them they're not. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a chance for you to test out your work and your new work and to be hands-on with people. And then you
Mm-hmm.
can find people that may buy your prints, if you make prints. And yeah, you can make limited edition prints and things, but you also can make what they call open edition prints. And they work well in a lot of places too. And my philosophy is you just meet people where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Say for instance, if I'm at the Reading Terminal, all right, I
Mm-hmm.
have prints there in the village that's right in the middle. It's African American and African cultural and heritage and art store where you
Mm-hmm.
can buy things in the middle at the Reading Terminal. So, I know of that situation and I presented myself and boom, got an opportunity to show prints there. Other places you can do that too, art shops, biblical shops, Bible stores, bookstores, small mom and pop bookstores, even Barnes and Nobles at one time, depending upon what area you're in, they had opportunities for artists to show medium-sized to small-sized works on the podiums and things within the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of just looking around and going. And that's why I was ran late because I'm in the cusp where sometimes you'll get a phone call every now and then when somebody needs somebody to come out. Not that they're saying, oh, you're the man. No, they just know that you have work on hand. That's the
Mm-hmm.
reputation that I like to have that, hey, you can call this guy like he's like the sixth man on the bench and he has artwork that'll please a crowd. They may not buy, but it'll please them enough to whereas it'll make your event look good. Whereas, okay, if you have a whole lot of empty tables like what happened today, they say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
Don, come over. We'll give you 2 tables for one
Mm-hmm.
because they might have larger work if the person knows. And then they're like, nah, don't worry. When he comes, he's coming. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
that's the reputation that I have.
And
So,
that's great. And that's what you establish. And that's important, something that you should work towards. Don't take
But
it
if
for
that's your desire, that's why I'm saying it that way, because I don't want everybody to think that I'm trying to push the whole crowd to doing this. That's just up to the people that what their desires are, what their intent is for their work at that point.
right,
If the
right.
work, when you're doing it with us, even the work you do with us, you can put on display. Some of
Mm-hmm.
the work that I've done with us here, I've gotten into collections for hospitals and things.
Mm-hmm.
So it works. You see what I'm saying? I just apply it. Sometimes I don't make mention to it because a lot of times that's where people's consonance dissonance comes in. Because everybody has a philosophy on how you're supposed to attack this, but there is no one specific way. Well, you can say it's one specific way. I'll say this then. Doing it the writing it up as far as the government is concerned, taxes and stuff.
Sure.
That would be a direct route. Now,
Right.
after that, there's several different ways to get to that point to admit that paper
Mm-hmm.
because you can put it in on your social security as residual income
Right.
and things like that. So those are just some of the things real quick, everybody, that because my energies were still going, that I was willing to talk about because that's the reason why I was running late, everybody. Excuse me for that.
Yeah, but understood. And that the fact that you're sharing it because, and this is something I put in on Rumble. I didn't put it in the rest of the feeds. I'll do that as well. But first, I just want to welcome all those that are watching or tuning in to Let's Paint and Draw Along. Please say hi in the comment section. And that the fact that right now in the beginning, what Don's talking about was the opportunities that arise for artists sometimes. And that was
Yeah.
one that happened. And you were dropping the knowledge and you were dropping the knowledge of things that most don't share. And
True,
that,
because they don't share it because of the old adage. Like, if you ever hear stories about artists, before the 1800s, and even during the 1900s and up to now, a lot of times these are artists of those eras wouldn't tell you anything. Why?
mm-hmm,
Because the philosophy is One, what am I getting out of it?
Right.
Two, I'll give you this information, and then now you can go into the same marketplace that I'm in and take over. Now, in those eras, it was different. You didn't have communication the way we have, internet and things like this, which opens up marketplaces. But during those times, that's what it is. Now, what it is that, oh, if I share this information with you, you may once again the attitude is surpass me. But
Yeah.
what I say to people is that okay, the individual may surpass you, but is that what you were supposed to do to keep the conundrum of creativity, keeping it going forward?
Right.
I'm talking about this now as far as being an artist or a person that's
Mm-hmm.
saying they're being a creator. If
Mm-hmm.
I share this information, it's to be expected that somebody is going to go further than me. I don't know who they know. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what their determination is. Well, I do know what the determination is if they're getting the information from me because I know how I'm going to give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
See? So it's all based upon intent. You know what I mean? What you exactly would want to do, because if you look around you, and no matter where you're at, you know what I mean. If you look around in your local arena, there's always a place or space for you to get arts off, or what we call arts and crafts arena, which
Mm-hmm.
is like a mosh posh of a lot of different things all thrown into one. And it's a nice title for entities and lower level corporations and
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit organizations to, how would you mean, make calls to artists or calls to the local
Yeah.
arena by
And
by things and things.
yeah, and it made me think of your one art of friend who's an artist. I think she's in Jersey. You've mentioned her before, and she's been in a couple of magazines and showcased because she mixes
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
collage. So when you talk
Yeah,
about different kinds of arts,
and things. Yeah, Lavette Ballard.
yeah, yeah. So it's, all of those
That's a
things.
whole other arena now. Like she started off in the arenas like how I'm talking about. You see
Mhm,
what I'm saying? But then her ambitions, her intent, her wants, her desires, and where she wanted her art to be and wanted it to look like. I know that because every now and then we would bump into one another at small county and state shows over in Smithfield Mansion and things like that, to see
mhm,
her ascend to that level and then go past it to the next level, which is regional, national, and now
mhm.
see her go from national to, I believe, international now with the
Yeah,
Time magazine thing. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to her. But then you can see how you can go through the realms and get your work where you want your work to be if that's your intent. It's
hmm,
all about that. Where do you want it to be? How do
yeah,
you want to be perceived at that point? But if you're just creating like how we're doing to keep the whole idea of what it is that I'm saying about keep creating, she presented that you keep
mhm.
creating. Once you find the vein that you're in, now you keep creating 24/7, 365. Okay, how does it
Yeah,
apply to
mhm,
other things in your life or other things that you may not think is creative? I'm saying everything that a human being touches or does is a creative endeavor.
yes,
Some may not believe that. That's
mhm,
okay. Maybe you'll figure it out before you leave this terrain. I
mhm.
don't know. But what I do know is that everything a human being involves themselves in becomes a creative endeavor.
Yes,
With that being said, it's like, okay, it doesn't have to be that you attune yourself to just selling your work. You can attune yourself to just making it and being proud of what you're making and investigations, and then be proud of what you investigated. If you learn something, you can
mhm,
note take and journal with
mhm.
what we're talking about. Get a little, memory book, any size you want, to just start journaling your thoughts on the day with images rather than just, writing or doing cursive. Yeah, draw some things out. Draw a plan out that you may have seen. Draw a hamburger or something, a lunch that you had that it may have been amazing. Yeah, sketch it out in there. There you go. That's what that book is for journaling.
Yeah.
Visual.
I
You know,
had
you
so
don't.
much fun. I had so much fun with that. I
Yeah,
couldn't believe it. Uh, you
yeah.
know, and I didn't put any pressure in it. I was camping, y'all. That's my other thing. And I wasn't trying to make the van exactly like mine, but it was similar. And, and I was just having fun and then writing and doodling and just saying, I put the date and everything. But that was a blank page and it was nothing to something. And I think this whole thing, what we were talking about, um, in terms of our intent and as we move through in our own creative farts, as you like to say, when we release that, those forms of creative expression, the marks, the lines, the shapes, the edges, and all of those things, you don't know what's going to come. Well, I don't know. It could be anything that happens, but
Who's going to appreciate it? That's all that
yeah,
is. You know what it's going to do because it's fulfilling something within you.
yes.
So since it's fulfilling something within you, with somebody else that's human, mankind or man,
Hmm.
they're going to have the same type of understanding.
Hmm.
It's whether or not they're going to appreciate your efforts.
Gotcha. Hmm.
That's all it is. Are you worried about that? I'm saying you shouldn't be if your intent
Right.
is to really journal your existence.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know people that have like shelves of these type of books from their memoirs
I
from
do
way back
too.
in high school
Yeah.
all the way through.
Yeah.
So to be able to go through their memoirs and see that and go back in time, well, what was they thinking when they was 19 or they was 20?
Yeah.
Well, I know a person that really started doing this around about 10, 11, and they got stuff from back then.
Yeah.
So you
I
can see
know.
the thought. You can see the handling of a human experience like pain and hurt and love
Hmm.
earlier on. Then you go back and look at it, you can laugh at it, but then others will look at it and be like, wow, you really went through that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Is that
Hmm.
what it really looked like? Did that
Hmm.
sunlight really look like that the first time you went to the Caribbean? Or was
Hmm.
that sunlight like that first time you got your van for real? Wow,
Yeah.
I want that. That's what people start to do. They'll live through your journal then. Then
Hmm.
that's how you know they're appreciating. So if you're
Hmm.
doing it for a human being, your only issue is, are you going to be appreciated? That's
Right.
all.
Right.
I'm saying if you utilize some of the things we talk about and, loosely, you're going to be okay. Like, for
Hmm.
instance, another something for nothing idea just came
Yeah.
up now, earlier
Yeah.
conversation where the cameras came on. Why not draw a location where a triple wide or a miniature home would be?
Okay.
What would be the vantage point? Do we want to do it from the curb appeal type of idea? Or do we want to do it from like another thing again, from the backyard, but showing elements of the house? Like as if you were standing in the back patio doorway or something.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know? I like doing these something for nothings because it helps people in those arenas of journaling because
Hmm.
it helps you to understand the importance of observation even more, to look
Hmm.
at these lines, which we call edges, which we call lines, and translate as a mark, whether we have a pen,
Hmm.
pencil, whatever, etc., in your hand to leave something behind.
Hmm.
You see? So
Hmm.
it's like it can be a complicated thought. Like if you was a scientist, you would have to, how you say, bring into it what you do on an everyday. So think
Right.
about the books at that point
Hmm.
when he's looking at the wound and he's looking at different processes of the human process, looking at the body and the structure, the veins and everything else, the nerve endings and
Hmm.
how muscles are connected to tendon to bone. But he's doing all these croquis drawings, yeah,
Right.
of the hand and all that. But when you look through those books, that's like a live action journal right there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's taking it through all those stages, but then you have to look at the other aspect of the idea of intent that I'm talking about. Because the
Hmm.
intent was to go someplace where no other people were really going to be able to be utilized publicly.
Hmm.
So in other words, at that time, that's salt of the earth time, that's God time, and everything else like that. So nobody really was exploring the inside of the body like that.
Right.
You see, so for him to get grave diggers and stuff to get bodies and acquire cadavers at that point to do
That's a
his
lot.
studies and his research and observations,
Hmm.
think about it. What if he didn't have the real intent and fortitude to do so? Would we
Yeah.
have books like that? Well, we have books like that based upon war, but not as intricate as what his were.
Right. Mhm.
You see, now we'll have even more intricate. Why? Because we're in the digital information age. So, all right,
Yes.
we'll send probes and all this stuff, use dyes and all this good stuff.
Going
Whereas I'm
down the
saying,
esophagus and everything, looking like a
yeah, but
tunnel.
see, a lot of times we did that based upon observation, and you would throw that in the artist's hands, and then the
Mhm.
artist would look at a cadaver and get a loose idea and draw that area. Think
Mhm.
about all the medical books, the illustrations in medical books, because
Yeah.
these are the things that I wanted to do when I was coming out of high school in the 80s. But at that pivotal point, from 85 to 95, this is when all the industries changed. And now no more was based upon board skills. It was based upon computer generated items and things and how to
You had to make the
manipulate.
shift. You had to incorporate that in as well.
Right, but at first though, it was like a separation.
Mm-hmm.
You do the programs, you can do the work.
Mm-hmm.
But if you was creative, you didn't know the program, you couldn't really do the work.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was still some places that had boardrooms. I mean, like board meaning big old boardrooms where you would do drafting and things like that, illustrations and stuff like this, and then use a photostatic room. Okay, from 85 to 95, this room, this pre-press room that I'm talking about and alluding about,
Mm-hmm.
has at about 95 is totally gone almost, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely gone by 99 because the Mac and the Apple computer had took over the industry at that.
Yep.
So and then Windows and all this stuff started to take over, and now that's why we at the place we at now. But the way an artist can really fit in now is just having the basic understanding of what the realm is, and now it's easier for you to connect with these programs. So if you have a basic understanding on how you would want to build in the look, you
Yeah.
can pretty much devise it and draw it out, even
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have the drawing build, but you have the creative visualization at that
Yeah, because it's
where you.
it's about the vision or to be able to compose everything,
Well, that's what I'm
arrange
saying. If
everything.
you
Yeah.
have an understand, yeah, if you have an understanding of your surroundings, then you can compose anything like a cartoonist at this point, comic book, or like the animators now. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So no more do you have them like Disney now. Now you have, Japanimators and animators that really take the team concept that he started and send people out to study that area, and then they'll have a team just for the foliage. Then
Mm-hmm.
they'll have a team just for the building. Then they'll have
Yeah.
a team that'll oversee all of it to have the sequence run right.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll have one master guy that'll oversee all of them, all those
Mm-hmm.
departments. So
Yep.
just look at the end of the reels of your movies and you'll understand where art is being fused in, because now those sections are really larger too as well. My main
Yes.
thing why I'm saying that though is our something from nothing concept fits in there because that's what a lot of these individuals are doing. When you're looking at an animation or something, sometimes these ideas are coming from nowhere.
Yeah.
Have teams of storyboarders where they just sit down and listen to the narrations of the director and the writers, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
just sitting there taking it in,
Mm-hmm.
writing down and doing quick sketches of what they're thinking. Then they go away, come back the next day, and they'll have a whole wall full of storyboard sequence, 35 or 40, well, more than that, probably like 100
Mm-hmm.
to 100 to like 500 panels. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's going through a whole sequence, and it's
Mm-hmm.
all drawn out everybody before it even gets to their digital people to start formulating the character development and everything else. So what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is, if you really want to understand something from nothing, look at the end of the movies that you enjoy, especially some of the new Marvel movies, and then
Mm-hmm.
look at the end of the credits and see and slow it down if you got it at home or if it's on TV or smart TV, Netflix or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Slow it down or pause it so you can see the names and research the names of the companies and stuff so you can get interesting understanding and research on how art is being used or how what we call art is being used
And
from
what
the
kind
idea.
of, yeah, and not only that, but what kind of equipment they're using, like rotoscoping, it's
Yeah,
just
all
like,
that
oh,
good stuff. The
yeah,
stuff that I'm not mentioning, you know what
yeah.
I mean? All that
Mm-hmm.
good stuff that goes into what it is that we're enjoying about the understanding of one, the human hand, which is the intent with the mind, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And then exploration of the subjective, there's something
Mm-hmm.
from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything we've been doing with something from nothing is identifiable forms. So
Yes.
that's objective, even though we
Mm-hmm.
pulling it in a subjective way.
Mm-hmm.
But one day we'll do something that's pure abstract, non-identifiable.
Ooh,
Something
that'll be
like,
cool.
let me show you something. Here's another little series that I'm working on from a challenge from somebody.
Ooh, let me see.
That these are the smaller ones. A lot of times you do smaller ones. So
Uh-huh.
what these are all about is the basics of those five things I told you guys about, or I always share. The
Mm-hmm.
challenge was somebody said, okay, so can you do an abstraction then, a pure linear equation with this idea? And I said, yeah, there you go. This is the understanding or explaining of line, shape. You see what I'm saying? Not
Mm-hmm.
form. We skip over form and go straight to light
Mm-hmm.
because
I love,
form is alluded towards in this. I'm using
yeah,
other, I'm using tint, tone, and shade, all the basics,
right.
all the foundational stuff to be able to get you to look at something and have a reaction. Not a
Yeah,
whole bunch. I did a whole,
that back layer is hot. You know what I was thinking of? It reminds me of the metal grated protector in the windows of like a high school, you
yeah,
know.
that's the idea. That's why I wanted to use it. Is the
You,
actual title or thought? This is another one. This is a bigger one. You see,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
all of them is within the idea of using all the basics and the boundary stuff, and then using ideas like Kandinsky was talking about when we talk about point and plane and object and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And that be all used together. Yeah, and it's done with spray paint and acrylic paint and oil paint.
Now, is that on canvas or
Yeah,
wood?
it's on
Okay,
canvas.
okay.
Mhm. So just to show you real quick, you see on the table there. So I
Mm-hmm.
work as a series. You see that, everybody?
That's no joke.
Yeah. So what happens is this was all yesterday.
Okay,
So
uh
about like four
let's
hours.
back up. Let's back up. You said you did all those yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's why I got the space. See, when you have space, even though I use the idea of clutter and chaos, I'm able, everything is on wheels. So when I need the space to do something, I can roll everything to one side of the studio and then have that space for what it is I needed to do what I need to do, and then I can roll everything back out. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm in this building, then I can put things in a hallway and spray it with the toxic stuff, or the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's not smelling pleasant, because that's why I rented the space
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have those chances and opportunities to make the work at that level. Now, when it gets bigger, like the one that's over there, you see that
Mm-hmm.
one there. Now, when it's that way, I'll clear out this whole side and roll everything over here on the opposite side
Mm-hmm.
and push the table out the way. Now I'll line up a bunch of easels that I have, or lean them on the wall and then go down the line. So
Mm-hmm.
then now you're trying to maximize. That's like that thing that, well, I got it from understanding Andy Warhol and then talking with James Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
Because James Dupree, that's how he does a lot of his work in series. If you ever get a chance, everybody, to look into a current artist that I know of that uses the process of being like a machine, you know what I mean, to get multiple works done within a series, is James Dupree. And they're
Okay.
very colorful. He definitely has a system. Will he tell you about it? Just like any other artist, he'll tell you loosely what he's doing. But if you're like how I am, and most artists are that are trying to attain and reach his level, then you're a study. You know how to look at something and study and not have to be, how would you say, always asking questions. You can
Mm-hmm.
just pretty much say, oh, I love the way you use this material. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Now
Mm-hmm.
you'll get a better conversation
Mm-hmm.
because now the person or the artisan will know that, oh, okay, this individual might be in like mind, and just haven't studied or had experiences with the material like I have.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I like to talk to artists like that. Andy Warhol, no, I did not have an opportunity to talk to him, meet him, anything like that. But in high school, these individuals walked around the high school. So they would
Mhm.
come during our little fashion week at Art Design High School and things like this, because most of the people that was in the arena graduated from Art and Design High School
Mhm.
or had friends that went to the high school.
Right.
Do I know Basquiat? No, but these people passed us. Like I say, once again, when we had those little shows, I remember when
Mhm.
Grace Jones came, she shut down the school basically. I couldn't function right after I saw Grace Jones. I
I mean,
couldn't.
she's just art in motion.
Right, but on that day, you got to imagine this is young Don. This is like what, 85, 86 now. Totally infatuated with this woman because now she done been in the Conan Barbarian movies and all this.
Yeah.
And now you see her walking down your hallway. Oh my God, that's Grace Jones.
Mhm.
Yeah, frozen, messed up all day.
Mhm.
Couldn't get my hormones right. Everything
Yeah.
was wrong. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just saying that's mainly the intent and the
Mhm.
understanding of, this stuff and how
Mhm.
it's applied and how you can be appreciative of it. But then the bottom line, what I'm suggesting is that every human experience is a creative experience. So
Mhm.
I'll leave that to you. And that's why I say keep creating 24/7, 365.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
So
am
with that,
writing that down because
yeah.
that
T-shirts.
that just capsule encapsulates everything. Every human experience is a creative experience.
Yeah.
That's it.
Somebody says no, then ask them to show you how it's not.
Yeah.
Because I can show you how it is in every endeavor. We can
Mhm.
take it all the way to urination, defecation, and perspiration. You'll be creative and get rid of all of that. Everybody can have their own experience. Everybody should be laughing on their own because they know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Had your own human experiences where you had to be creative in some situations. Let me see if anybody's smiling. No, nobody's smiling and laughing. I'll leave that alone. You know what I mean?
I'm actually asking the question in the chat. Do you believe every human experience is a creative experience?
Mhm.
Oh, let me
That's what I
see.
believe. Every experience is a creative experience, an opportunity to have an experience to be triggered by something.
Yes.
And then your expression is your creativity. The creativity is what you bring to this realm.
Yeah,
Your expression is what goes on in your mind.
for
You
sure,
know,
for sure.
you gotta create it. Think about everything we got in this world. You would not
Yep.
have it if somebody didn't, sit down and have a creative moment.
Mm-hmm.
Creatively, okay, what does a human being need to have a domicile, a place to live, a
Right.
place to put things? What does that mean?
For some people, they don't need a lot. Like that's what I'm discovering from camping part-time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going and seeing folks that
Yeah, but it's all about the idea then, because that's what's being relooked at again through the word of sustainability. Because
mm-hmm,
that makes you have to look at, well, then what is rich, what is wealthy, what is poor again?
right.
You see what I'm saying?
The world would say something different, but there's so many people out there that are saying,
Well, no, in America, we it's based upon the individual.
mm-hmm,
I.e., if I got 100,000 or more, I may be able to live in the more affluent areas.
mm-hmm,
Or if I don't want to live there, I'll live amongst the low because I want to, not because it's trendy.
mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have these different thoughts that are going into it. And then what does that mean? Maybe the individual had big houses. And now
Mm-hmm,
since they had the big house, they saw how it's in excess, how you hear some people say, and they say, okay, it's time to reduce this down. Not
mm-hmm.
because I can't have it or can't attain it, it's because I feel like it's too much,
Right.
which makes you have to assess, well, what is wealth at that point? When we
Mm-hmm,
talk about things, which capitalism makes you look at. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? That's what it is now. If people start clowning people for having small houses again, then everybody be trying to get 2.5 acres or more around their house again.
Right.
That's
Because
all.
there's a land grab. So
Well, that's always going to be though. As far as when as humans being here, that's always going to be because we always got to have a place to convalesce, to slow down,
mhm,
to decompress. Everything that breathes has to do that.
right.
Doesn't stay in constant motion like a shark does on
Excuse me.
land. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. There we go.
Yeah. So okay. I would say let's look at this house idea because the idea for today's session is coming from the whole conversation that you guys was having earlier that I came in on, and we got to talking about smaller houses and things like this. You guys was talking about the actual thing that's actually going on with the miniature home thing. And then
Mm-hmm.
I brought the concept of the triple wides, double wide, and single.
Mm-hmm.
So then how would you want to do it? Now, you can go with the idea of eye level at this point, bring it about here. Watch this. I'm gonna have some fun with everybody. We're gonna do it like we're standing in the backyard looking out from the back patio or double slide doors. But we're not gonna put the doorway in there, we're gonna put part of the house. So then I'm gonna say I got a double wide where I got one part of the trailer that we can say is right here. See?
Mm-hmm.
How easy this is gonna be. We're gonna put another line right about here. See it, everybody?
Oh yeah.
All right, now, normally you would put a dot somewhere over here to make this end good. I'm not going to stress everybody. I'm going to show you how you do something for nothing, and like how if you were doodling in your own journal. It's based upon how you see it. So there's a proverbial dot spot in there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll put it in the center. This is the idea when you're looking. This is a guesstimated center. So if it's not absolute center, don't worry about it on the screen. I'm trying to show you the guesstimation idea. So this is you looking. This is your eye level that you're bringing this idea to life with. With that being said, if you were to move your vision over either which way, you're saying how this would move to you. You've seen
Mm-hmm.
that angle, I don't know how many times in your life, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so then now all you would do is just, however you're perceiving it now, you would draw those lines in like so. And then now what I would do is draw the lines like this to make it seem like it's coming toward the area where I'm standing. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Now what we can do is I can put like a patio like the out back. Start it there, right? Now I
Mm-hmm.
can make it to an angle. Well, not to complicate it, we'll do the same idea. Make it seem like we have an expansive patio. I was gonna try to go fancy. Let's not do that. Let's just do a basic patio. See it already, Nadine? Swim.
Yes. Yes.
Now you can make planks now. Horizontally, you can make planks. I would make them smaller towards the eye level. And as you're coming down, start to widen them up. Like right here, I would start widening them up.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I get down here, I would widen them up even more, meaning the space in between them. That one is kind of wobbly, but I wouldn't worry about it. That's my character, as long as they're horizontal. And then it'll be like these planks will be a little bit wider here than in here. See how that feels? Does that feel like decking?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And all you would do now is just draw a line up, not to the eye level, but right below it, to say that's where that fencing would be. And then now you would do the same idea to come this way, but gradually come up. See how we have railing now? Do the same thing, just make it thick the best way you can. Make it thick. If you're good, you can show the side of it, You see, you can show the top side of this one. You see? See the basic idea, everybody?
Yeah.
How many decks is like that out there? How many people got a deck like that? How many people know of people that got a deck like that? How many
Uh,
people
yeah.
resorts and the Poconos and seen
Oh,
that?
yeah. Definitely at the Poconos.
That's why I brung it up. These are the places I've seen them, especially on snow trips,
Mm-hmm.
skiing trips. Yep. Even way out there going towards Harrisburg, that park that's out there.
Mm,
Sometimes they use it as that too as well for snow and all that. Way out Harrisburg, going out that.
Harrisburg.
Yeah.
It's not the park with all the stones, is it? That's not Harrisburg.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think that's what I'm alluding towards.
Okay.
That idea. Uh-oh, see, I wasn't paying attention, everybody. Some of mine is leaning. My deck panels are leaning. So then I
Oh,
would just change that up.
okay.
You see, now I would say to myself, do I want a window on this side?
Mm-hmm.
You
So,
see?
so this is a way to fix something that didn't quite work out too well.
What do you mean?
You said you noticed there was a little bit of a slant. So now you're thinking
Yeah.
about the window?
No, my deck was already slanting a little bit at the bottom of the square here, if you look. But
Yes.
because it's already equal level up top, it doesn't bother the eye.
Okay.
That's all I was pointing out
Mm-hmm.
because I want to show everybody that I'm not worrying about being perfect.
Right.
Perfection is a lie. Repetition is the truth. This is
Yeah.
something nothing. This is based upon an experience possibly that I've had in the past or what I may want in my future or near future as
Mm-hmm.
far as having, a smaller modular home. I forget
Mm-hmm.
what's the term they call that now.
Which one?
The houses are small now. What do they call them?
Okay, so you have the mobile homes, modular homes, uh alternative dwellings. It's
I think
they
that's
have
what I'm talking about. Those alternative dwellings where
yes,
they have the trailers where they put them in different augmentations and then come back and weld them and put them together and then boom.
yes.
Because
So they can do that with cargo containers.
yes.
I've seen that done. It's pretty amazing. And then they
Oh,
have stuff that are like boxes. It's called boxable or something like that.
yeah, where you
Boxable,
order it and it comes straight to your house in a cargo box basically, and you just unload it and they
open it
put it in
up.
location. You have your plumber come in and electrician come in and put and connect everything basically.
Right. And a lot of it is already there. The infrastructure is already set up. It's just
Yeah.
about making a connection. Yeah, it's
Yep.
pretty amazing with technology. You would think everyone would have a home based upon that. I'm just
No, we
saying. I'm
have
just
society.
saying.
It's different when it's a capitalistic society. We have a different standard that we're going by. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? A lot of people don't like it when that's said, but it's the truth of the matter. That's why everybody doesn't have homes
Uh-huh.
because it's
Yeah.
not economic for those that want to be controllers.
Right. Yeah.
Because if I just give the homes away, how am I still an elitist at that point?
Mm-hmm.
How do I still maintain control? Just interesting things to look at. I don't want to get bogged down in that thought.
No, no,
But
we don't want to get bogged
things that
down.
go into art because, you can draw about these things and make things based upon those ideas. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what helps culture out. So once again, that's my philosophy and idea, excuse me for talking art, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that because we have to talk about art. We have
Yeah.
to.
Well, yes and no. Some would say no, but then I would challenge and say, well, what you're saying is art when you're conversating. Because
Mm-hmm.
I would say some of your conversations about your work, whatever your work is a creative conversation.
Yeah. It's like, how did you get to that point to finish this or whatever people want to know? You have to
Right.
discuss it. You have to,
It was a
you have
fire
to.
then. And you writing a stage play. That's what happens.
Right.
And those that are good liars can be good storytellers.
Yes.
That's the fact.
I mean, because what is the story?
They're good lawyers and anything that has to do with oratory at that.
Yeah.
It's a known fact. That's not Don saying it, everybody. So don't get mad at me.
Don't get mad at them, y'all.
There it is. Look, let's put a bay window out here. I like those
Okay.
bay windows. So let's put a bay window, one of those windows that's like the whole length of the wall. See what I mean? And then it's at
That's
a certain. See that?
yeah.
You get a ball marker for that though.
That's so cool when the light comes in, especially if it's like winter.
Yeah, especially if it's facing towards the east.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be trying to figure out. I want my windows to be facing east so I get that morning light.
Morning light coming in, see your day about to start.
Yeah, you see?
A- After the birds start singing.
Then we erase out the horizon line in there because now we know exactly what we want on that wall. We know exactly what this is here, so the horizon line can be, or the eye level can be erased out from there. You see? I'll erase out my little bullseye that was talking about how to guesstimate center.
Mhm.
You see how we have the edge of a building?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Mhm.
All right, that's a little better. So then now look, let's put some windows in here. So what I would do is that three-pane window thing that you see at a lot of people's houses. See that?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a little bit better. Okay, everybody. Now I'm trying to stand to the side so you can see me when I draw it and see how carefree I'm being about the idea of dropping it in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the confidence you want to have, everybody. Just drop it in. It doesn't take a lot of courage to do that. You just got to drop it in and stand back and don't ridicule yourself to death.
Don't
You
do it.
know,
Don't beat yourself up.
nah, man. Like, look at this idea. Now, I would say you got to put a gutter on this thing. You see, so we put a gutter here. You
Oh,
see,
okay.
put a downspout here. See that? What I just did?
Yeah.
This is the edge of the roof here, coming here. You see, and then you just follow it the same way. See, I don't think it would be a spout here, but I know it will be one at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, are we saying this is the upper deck or a lower deck? Well, in the type of houses that we modular homes we're talking about, that'll be all on one level. So yeah, that gutter will be right there. I'm saying we walking around the corner with the deck. We got a deck that goes around the house almost to at least the front part of the house, so we in the back. Oh, and you know what I'm going to do then? You got to go for it, Nadine.
What's
You got to
that?
right here, cup of coffee,
Oh, yeah.
a cup or a mug. Swing,
Uh,
Nadine,
I
remember?
think I think we've been doing mugs, so why not a cup?
Or one of
But
those outside cups like my Yeti.
yes,
A Yeti type cup?
yes, get that Yeti out.
All right, look, then we just have to put a little bottom on there like that. That's round like so. Think about it, everybody. See that real quick? How we did that?
Mhm.
Yep. Now we have to just make up a top for it. Doing the ellipses, everybody. The way you can get it off is that the top has to be the same curve as the bottom too as well. You see that? Maybe, all right, let me erase out the top, everybody, so we can see the elliptical of the opening. Erase out the sides there, erase out the cup where it's covering the planks. You see? Get that all out of there. Now, this is why I'm doing it in blue, everybody, because this would represent you using your pencil. If you upgrade to just using your pen straight because you're outside, then know that you would have to, how would you say, dang, it's kind of crooked. I don't like that, but it'll be all right. Because I want you guys to see my hand when I'm drawing it. So That okay, Nadine?
Oh, yes.
Swing.
Yes, it's
All right.
looking good.
All right. And, you know what we can do is you can put a hand on here. The right hand, let's go for it. I'm gonna start the wrist right here. So you make a circle for the wrist and then make it like it's coming from you. See that?
Mm.
Now I erase out everything in here, and then now I have where the wrist is and some of the forearm to get to how that hand may be holding. See? Oh, and then with that being said, then you can do some of the planks in here. Same idea. Do them as straight lines. Don't worry about if they're 3D or not. Just do them as two lines, like a long rectangle. And as you get close to the end there, just start making them closer together. And you'll see just by that repetition alone, it'll start to feel like that's some type of fencing. You see, you don't have to be perfect with it. Then you come over here, you can put a couple here that's facing. Now, I know all of you have seen stuff like this before in your life. Down south, Delaware, Route 13, South Jersey, Atlantic County, Bucks County, in Salem. Yeah. Pottstown, going out that way on the PA Turnpike. Belmar. What's the other side? Amber?
Amber? Mm.
Yeah, is it Ambler or Amber?
Ambler,
Ambler.
maybe.
Yeah. That's where one of the campuses was for Temple.
Yes.
So
Temple
going out
U.
that,
Sorry. I said Temple U. Sorry.
yeah, off of 309, going out that way. Because I remember taking classes out there, and I used to think it used to take forever. I got my worst tickets riding over there on that little strip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you would speed. I'm not gonna lie, I would speed, having fun at the wrong time when you're young, and oh man,
Coming for you.
where
What you
you
gonna
going?
do?
Oh yeah, I know you're going. All right, here's your warning. So
Yeah.
for me, I got I would get stopped, and I would a lot of times I would get stopped because I would have my uniform on because I'm a reserve unit. So I
Right.
would get off based upon that, like, oh, okay, all right, slow it down, though, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. But yeah, can you see the idea developing? I'm just leaving it like that so everybody can see the basic positioning of it. Notice
Mm-hmm.
how we really didn't talk about perspective again. Notice how
Mm-hmm.
we didn't really have to stress it. It still fits within our idea of something from nothing, just based upon how you're seeing the edges for your intent at that moment. Yes, we're controlling the main intent.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, say for instance, you're in your house right now or in your space. You say, okay, Don, I see that basic package window that you gave. I want to put, and then you can put what you're going to put then.
Right.
Long as you have the basic understanding and you have the fortitude and the courage and the intent to put what it is that you're seeing in your mind in this basic element, go for it.
Right. Yeah. What is that paper telling you? What is it calling you to do?
No, really, what is your mind calling you to do within this,
Okay.
really? What you said
Okay.
wasn't wrong. That's another good one. But mainly, it's like when we're pulling something from nothing, until it hits the paper, it's all in your mind.
Okay.
Until it comes through your fingertip, it stays in your mind. That's the whole thing about the nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
That we're saying is still something, but in general, everybody would say that's nothing coming from your brain. Where is it coming from? Huh? And they would say that's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I'm saying no. That nothingness that we're talking about is based upon your daily experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying somewhere in your lexicon of life, whether you remember it or not, you've seen a scene like this, whether it's been in a movie, whether it's been actually you're there, some
Mm-hmm.
type of way you've seen something like this. Maybe you was at a barbecue party,
Mm-hmm.
once again, maybe you was at the Poconos.
Maybe.
So the Poconos, it looked like this.
Mm-hmm.
The upper deck of my aunt's house, if I reduce the space and just make the one window that you look out to your master bedroom, then I would
Mm-hmm.
have that if I take off the extra part of the house there. That would be
Okay.
her upper deck. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, what I'm saying is I used to see this and then I would see my aunt's neighbors over here,
Mm-hmm.
neighbor here, neighbor over here, neighbor here, and then a neighbor would be this way. You see?
Okay.
This part of the house will be gone. This will be more flat. Or
Mm-hmm.
this behind me here, because I'll be looking through this window, or she had the double sliding doors. So now I would have that door open looking out with the screen closed.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you didn't have the screen closed, you would be cursed out.
Mm.
Yeah, you see? So these are some of the basic ideas on how you would see an idea, thought, see it in your mind's eye as it see.
Mm.
Maybe I'll put an edge of a window or something here, or put the edge of that doorway there.
Yeah, I was
So
thinking a door.
you see that?
Yeah.
And see how I believe that we're going inside
Mm-hmm.
by making this part go up, and then now that line in, bang, straight across. That's the doorway. See it?
Oh yeah.
So then I would reach that inside out. So then now all I would do is put the little trimming around the outside. See? The weather stripping and stuff that's on the outside. See? Boom, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys, I'm pretty good at this because if I show you my yearbook, this is what we did in high school. And another thing is before the computer took over, I I used to be able to get piecework doing illustrations like this for
Mm-hmm.
small illustration in printmaking houses in a
Mm-hmm.
pre-press room, as they would call it. Then it got to the point where, like how I'm suggesting to you guys, I would do the black and white drawings, and instead of taking a picture of it with a photostatic machine, I would scan it into the computer
Mm-hmm.
and then manipulate. They would manipulate it their designers would manipulate it in the computer the way they needed because I was work for hire at that point. So I was hired to do an illustration like this, which means that I didn't have any claim of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So those of you, you know what I mean, in our over 50 crowd, you may all understand that. For our under 50 crowd, some of you may understand that idea. But others, research it, have fun with it. It's like a licensure deal almost, without getting the tangible back percentage
Mm-hmm.
because you was hired for a flat fee per hour or a flat fee for the job itself.
Yep. And they own it.
Yep,
Yeah.
totally. The most that you can get done is your name being recognized for being on a team,
Yep.
or that you have a connection with that company that just got the awards based upon your illustrations that they manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
Then you that I work for so and so company, did illustrations for so and so company. And that's the only other way you can get the accolade from it too as well. But other than that, no, you're paid per hour that you negotiated, if you was fortunate to negotiate it, or paid per job that you was able to negotiate as a freelancer. That
Mm-hmm.
would be, you know, get your come up or come back as it.
Yep. There you go.
So yeah, so now if you wanted to, depending upon how you saying your sliding doors are, you can put the track at the bottom here if you want to. Just that little bit that's there by doing 3 or 4 lines, and it's gonna be perceived as a track.
Mm-hmm.
I would say a lot of it, do these simplified things that'll make your audience, how would you say, make up the rest for you. So you don't have to work that hard. Or if you want to work that hard, that's up to you. You see, how much of it do you want to show us in your world? I'm just giving a template for you guys to go with for some of you that may not, have a thought or notion on how to really pull something from nothing, just like how we did. This is why I like doing it like this, Nadine, because it really goes with the whole idea. This was from an earlier conversation of us talking about, well, I didn't hear the whole one with you and Sue Ann, your guys was having, but I caught the back end of the sizes of the homes and the modular home idea. Because I
Yeah.
like, I've been seeing some of those cargo homes that they've been
Yeah.
putting online. I'm like, man, that's cool as beans. Like, look at all that space and look at the
Right.
height. But then it's
Yeah.
like it's moderate space. It's not like it's like grandiose, like you would have a 5.5 acre type of situation. But you have a feeling of mass space based upon the stacking and the maneuvering of these containers. And I've seen
Yeah.
them as looking, like how you were saying, 35,000 with everything in it
Right.
already, and up to about 80,000 for a nice looking one.
And the thing is, you could start. This is one of the things that was kind of pulling me towards I'm sorry, the cargo containers, because you could start off with one cargo container, like
Yep.
an 18-wheeler would be dragging, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
and then and if you wanted to add on, you could add on from there,
Yeah.
because and that was the thing. And then it becomes like, not like Lego, but definitely like you're putting it together in a certain kind of space. But
Yes.
even
Full
even
modular.
even if it was just your studio, you know, you had
Yeah, I like that. I know people in Delaware that have it like that.
yeah,
They're, they're using the half dome idea. A lot of times when you see those
I've
half
seen.
domes,
I like that too.
huh?
I like the half dome too.
Yeah, I know a couple of people that have it like that. Or you may pass by some of these homes and it looks like a farmhouse, but it's really somebody's art studio.
Yeah, there's so much you can do, if you
Mhm.
just think outside the box.
Well, think outside the box and have enough for your project or the, how would you say, perceived idea of your project. Same
Hmm.
thing here. You got to have enough of what it is that your heart's desire wants. That's where
Hmm.
America is different.
Hmm.
Because if I only have 80,000, then I can get a look like I'm 100,000, but I'm only 80,000.
Hmm. Hmm.
If I'm 100 million and I want to be discreet, then I can make it look like it's a humble small home, but still
Right.
have adequate
Hmm.
space.
Hmm.
You
But
see, so now,
I was going to say, it's also like sometimes finding a space that is existing, that has potential to be able to see, just like on a piece of paper that's blank, to make something from what other people would say is nothing. It's an old barn, but now all of a sudden redoing barns is the big hot thing now,
well, no, that's
for
just
living spaces.
remodeling at that point and seeing the
Hmm.
functionality of the space and seeing how you can upswing it. You know what I mean? Moderately without having to do a bunch.
Hmm.
You know?
Like old, the old diners, like you would drive down the highway and there would be a diner, and it's almost like a trolley car or something, this silver outer area, whatnot. That could be a house.
Step further, I'm in
Hmm.
a factory space, and in Philadelphia and in most industrial city areas, they're
Hmm.
taking all the factory spaces and turning them either into luxury homes or workspaces for artists.
Yep. Yep.
So where I'm broadcasting you from is one of these recouped situations or spaces
Hmm.
and has found a new use.
Hmm.
Rather than being for a textile company now, it's for creatives that want to explore their work and
Hmm.
have a safe workspace that they can work in.
Hmm.
Or it can be living. They have other units where it's for living. So
Hmm.
now that's your luxury thing. So if you look around Philadelphia County, some are in Camden County, if you look, some are in Burlington County, if you look, and in
Hmm.
any industrialized area, metropolitan area, they're taking all their industrial manufacturing spaces and turning them into high-end living spaces and workspaces.
Hmm.
So it's the same idea at work. How do
Yeah.
you take a space and recoup it? A lot of times, if you look around Philly, what they're doing now, they may buy the house from the person, right?
Hmm.
And then smack it down and put the braces up to brace the other houses from left to right to put up
Hmm.
this new modular home in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Yep.
Yep, with the garage on the first floor.
Mm-hmm. And you get more, I would say, ceiling space and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they either redo the home or they'll smack the home down and then put the new perspective design there.
So true. I've seen that in like down in Oregon and around Second Street. You go down
Yeah.
some of this, you'll
If you
you'll
go to
see
North Philly, West Philly, you know what I
Washington
mean?
Avenue.
Yeah,
Um,
all over. You see it, you be like, wow, wait a minute, you got this old style house still there. And then right
mhm.
next door, you got the new house with the horizontal small slit windows
Yep.
that is supposed to be for how would you say
Bring the light in, make it look
light in and
make
all
it
that
look
good stuff.
bigger.
That too, but then when I read up on it, they were saying how it's supposed to control light and they're putting windows that'll be better for breezes, the kitchen, and all this good stuff. I'm like, wow, it just looks kind of funny next to some of these traditional
It
homes that's
does.
in.
It's a weird combination when you see it. But then on the other end, I mean, because it's a stark contrast, because now, if you notice, the structures are more of it almost looks plastic.
Well,
Like
it is.
it's the
That's what
gray,
it is.
it's the gray and that kind of muddy brown, and then they throw in a a, a shade of a blue that's not
Or
like a
green.
bright blue or green, and then that's juxtaposed against, you know, Philly style housing, you know, with
Yeah,
porches and
because
whatnot.
yeah, it's all synthetic and recouped stuff.
Material. Hmm.
Yeah, materials, yes, and then it's all plastic. It's not real wood. It's not real metal or aluminum.
Hmm.
It's like a fabrication that's made so it can be a little bit better. But if you've been watching, they even have reports of windows being blown out in some of these locations.
It's because they go up real fast and they don't build them like they used to. And I heard, I'm not saying where I heard it from, but emergency response people might roll up on a scene of a house that's on fire and know when it was built and decide whether they're going to go in or not.
Right, because may not be safe because of all the synthetic materials that they use that are
Yes.
highly flammable.
Hmm.
That's what a lot of people don't know when they're going with these newer homes. Yeah, it may be able to withstand certain things, but you know, if it's a row home, is it gonna? They're saying that it has fire retarders in it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Everything I seen when they on is when something happens to them, they go down fast. You know what I mean?
they go
So
down real
alone,
fast.
we don't have any issues with our flowing stream here. So you know
Yeah.
what we will say is that to look at our home that we're doing from something for nothing, we
Hmm.
can say that our deck is real wood, cedar.
Yes.
I would say this is my idea of a triple wide or a double wide put together.
Yeah.
You see? And I'm
Mhm.
standing in the doorway. So if you want a Yeti cup like mine, you can do it like that. Now let's put a hand on that thing.
Yeah, I
Let's
was
make it,
thinking about the hand. Ah, the
yeah,
hands.
make it easy.
We're gonna
Let's
make it
make it
easy. Okay. I'm
easy.
following you. Take me there. Take me there, Don.
Yeah. Make it so that you're doing something like this, everybody.
Okay.
This is
Uh,
all right.
I'm I'm doing my hand too, y'all.
Basic shapes, everybody. Here, and then just let's make the thumb from here. So that put a circle for where the thumb is going to be. Show where the hand is going to be there. That's the middle of the palm of the hand. Now we put it on the bottom. Let's make the wrist a little bit thinner so it doesn't look like the person has edema or gout. You see, put a little knot for the wrist bone, and then boom. There you go. Let's remove this line in here, and then a line for the inside of the cup, and a line for the knuckle of the thumb. If you move that out the way, you have a hand with the thumb there. You see, the rest of the hand is wrapped around the other side. Let's put this thumb here, and then now we put the tip of the thumb a little bit wider so it looks like it's spreading to show force like it's holding on to the cup. See?
Yep.
See it, everybody? There you go. You can make the hand seem like it's doing a little bit more by putting the index finger, put a knuckle right there, and now we can make it seem like that hand is reaching around the corner. And now we erase out that part there, and now we have it even more so now. See? Now we put the little tendon there for the wrist. See? There you go. Give it a little bit of a turn there to show the muscle there. Nah, I don't like that bone there. So I'm gonna change mine up and go back to my original idea. There we go. I like that better. It makes optical sense. It don't look like a hand is broken. See, that's where that knuckle would be, so then boom. I would erase that out like so. Yeah, now that feels like that hand is holding. Let's put the opening that would slide on the Yeti cup right there for the cap. You know, where the opening would be for your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little mechanism in there that slide back and make it like so. And you erase out the inside of your cap here and here. We pretty much got a good idea of what that looks like. Say to yourself, what do you want to put in here? All right. Well, maybe I'll put the curtain on the inside. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll put a curtain here on this side that's been pulled back. Maybe I put my plants. Put a pot there and put one or two plants in there in the window. See what happened, everybody?
Oh yeah.
So now I got plants and I got curtains being drawn in the window. Now think about this. Where you at now? Where you at? I'm gonna say I got some trees in the backyard, so I'm gonna go with trees that's like this. So right now, like those little fern bushes that grow up and you manicure it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like the outside there. Yep, here. So you maybe put the top of another tree that's going towards the back there. You see? Yep. This is where you make up what your leaf structure is going to look like, so make a shape for it. See what I'm doing? I'm just making up a mark, an oval mark, real small, and I'm thinking about how those trees or how those shrubs that grow real big look.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just mimicking the idea. So then this way you don't have to do it exact to what I'm doing. What you should do is try to pull from your memory these things that are happening or occurring in the spaces that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You see everyone? Hopefully
Oh
you're
yeah.
seeing that good. You seeing that good, Nadine?
Yes, I am. It's looking good.
All right. All right, bro. I'm gonna run to the bathroom for a quick second. Hold on, everybody. Or keep
All
going.
right. I'll just
Wait.
keep, yep, I'll just keep going. I'm just gonna keep going, everybody. I don't know if y'all can see it so good. I'm trying to make it happen. How do you feel about this something from nothing? It's really fun. Once you like let go, I'm trying to figure out. He's got that he's got that going on. Let me see something. Let me see if I can control my camera a little better. I have a different camera, y'all. Um, oh yeah, so you should be, oh, there you go. Can you see? Um, oh, ooh, I'm really taking y'all places, aren't I? Anyway, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, let me do this. There you go. I'm working with this other platform, this other camera. And I've got it in a place it doesn't need to be. So let me do this for a minute. Modern technology, Don. I was sitting
We'll see
here.
what happens.
I was trying to zoom in closer with the other camera that I have, and um, it was positioning itself in a weird way, and I couldn't move it.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Let's see if it'll pop up again. Uh, I'll keep that going. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Maybe I can get back to the other overview. Let's see. But I was looking at the roof of the modular home, how I was going to approach it. There you go.
That's how you approach it. It's above your eye level. You see
Yeah.
why I put the eye level there? Because if this is
Yeah.
us standing and looking at this scene, or we're using ourselves as a template, then you have to say to yourself, where's the below and where's the above idea?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're seeing the top of this roof here, that means that you're up high. There's no way for you to see the top of that roof.
Okay, got
Not
it.
8 foot tall. If you're 8 foot tall, you may be able to see the top of that roof.
Okay.
But if you're not 8 foot tall and you're anywhere from 5 foot to maybe 6'5", no, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to see something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're making up the scene based upon the nothingness that you've been through, you have to say, well, how is this going to look to me?
Mm-hmm.
You
Got
see
it.
what I'm saying? You can't say, well, okay, I'm going to see. As soon as you say, oh, I want to see the top of the building, well, wait a minute. If you have a modular home, does any modular home have like a roof that starts here that you see right at the edge here?
No.
Nah, the most you're going to see is
Mm-hmm.
the gutter and the strips.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a deck. Now, is the opening for the deck? Is there stairs leading from the deck? Then we can take out a section of that area over there and make it like it's like a staircase or a slight opening, so you can go to the rest of the backyard at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's one of those that's not serviced straight from the back. The entrance is on the side.
Right.
Maybe it's behind me, or behind our viewer, or behind the person that's holding the cup.
Mm-hmm.
See how that works?
Yes.
So you notice when I went into it, just to put some notes on the side, when I went into it, the idea, once we started, I got the placement of the horizon line on the eye level.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said to myself, where am I at in this piece to
Mm-hmm.
get this to go? You see, is this piece manufactured based upon my existence? Yes, even if it's made up, how is it going to look? That I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
make it believable to my viewing audience that when they look, they're going to see it. So I already saw it when we started talking about it in my mind's eye. This is
Mm-hmm.
how your mind's eye is working. You'll see it a couple of different ways. You know, I saw one where I just led straight off the back like this. And now the
Mm-hmm.
deck is here. You see it now, the barbecue pit would be, I mean, the barbecue grill would be here, right here next to the house, closer. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've seen setups like that, and then the roof is on a great slant like that from the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have the fencing there. So how many different ways can you see this scene in your mind's eye when you're making it up to be able to say what it is you're seeing? Then I saw the hand. So when I saw the hand at first, I just saw the hand like this. That's how I saw the hand in my mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
Then I took the hand and put it in this scene. You see,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind's eye. So since it's there like that in my mind's eye, I know what the format is I'm working on. It's easy to translate the thought from inside of nothingness to something.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to show when you say nothingness, what that nothingness really is. It's not that it's nothing, totally nothing, zero, void. No, that nothingness is filled with experiences and possibilities that you're plucking from to say what happened and what doesn't
Mm-hmm.
happen inside the piece or inside the secret.
I have to write that
Oh,
time down. That was beautiful.
mm-hmm.
The nothingness is somethingness that you're plucking from the you said the mind's eye.
Yeah, from your experience, your mind's eye. That's what you're really plucking from, and that's what you're calling nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Or when somebody alludes to it, man, your work, it seems to come from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it seems like that, but really does it? That's what I'm challenging. I'm
Right.
saying that the nothing is still something, whether you believe it or not, because it's an
Mm-hmm.
experience. So it's nothing, yeah, because you can't see it,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't see yours, so it's considered nothing until I put it somewhere and it becomes something.
Mm.
But that something is even nothing, but it's still something because it comes from nothing. And my nothing I know is experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Liquid experiences, liquid thoughts that you're calling upon to say, what does a tree look like in your mind's eye? Not that, oh, let's find a picture of a tree this time. No.
Uh-huh.
Everybody sees these type of bushes that are long like that
Right.
are beside houses for decoration and to show partition of where one person's land starts and when it ends. Sometimes it's used at the edge of highways. If you sit next to a highway, to give you a barrier so people can't see right up on the house.
Right.
These type of ferns and shrubs, you know. And then this is where you can have fun. If you don't know exactly what it is, then make up a shape. Use the shape that I put there, but make it look like it's behind the house, on the side of the house.
That's what I'm doing. Yep.
Yeah. Now what we gonna put in the front? Like, you know, what we gonna put in the backyard? Or are you gonna put a neighbor, a smaller house over there, where you're
Oh.
looking in the top of that house over there, and it seems like they're far away. I mean, when I'm looking at an environment like this is the environment where you see a lot of outgrown pools,
Mm-hmm.
outground pools, above ground pools,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're attached to these decks and stuff like that. So yeah, it's up to you. I don't know. Maybe for everybody that may not understand where they want to go, and they may be sitting there waiting for Don to take us in a certain direction or add more to it so you can have an idea to do yours. Sure, okay. This is
Mm-hmm.
where I'm going to go with it. I'm going to show like you're in some type of township, like, you know, the Northeast or something, going towards Ben Salem, Lower
Mm-hmm.
Bucks County, because that's across from Burlington County, where the
Okay.
Burlington Bristol Bridge is and stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
see houses like that out there.
So we're gonna put
Like,
another house?
huh?
Are we gonna put another house?
I mean, do you want to put another house? What do you want to put there?
I don't know. There's so many choices.
Neighborhood. Make it look like a neighborhood, like you got neighbors. So you wouldn't put the house as big as this there. That would mean your neighbor is right there. So a lot of people in your imaginary world, I wouldn't really want my neighbor to be right there. So then I would make it so that that house is smaller, like so. And then now it may be their backyard scenes well here. But then now I can put small shrubs on the side of the house here. You see maybe the same type of trees there, but smaller, that go the whole length of that side of the house there. I've been out Haddonfield and seen houses like this. You know, and then that's your neighbor's house back over there. Then now what we can do is just put some shrubs and stuff to say that this is where their land is. That covers that line. Now you got shrubs out here and maybe some shrubs here. Or maybe I'll put some lines in the shrubs so I can show that they're there. To cover up where the horizon line is or where that eye level is. See? And now I have a house off into the distance. That may be my neighbor. Then look, you know the other thing I like doing, what type of sky elements we put in here. So I would put nice looking little clouds. Something like this to have some bottoms to it. Maybe some smaller ones down here to give you an idea of distance. You know, maybe one small around this house right here down here. You see? Yeah, there we go. And then what I like to put in always, put a little markers acting up. Now what I do is I'll put hot air balloons.
Yeah, you love those hot air balloons.
Yeah, they're fun. You know what I mean? You can put a plane. I can put a plane if you want, but nobody says it. So I'll put a hot air balloon. Something that we know about, but not we don't see on a regular basis up there. As soon as you put it in a piece, it gives it a different feeling. You see? So now we just implement the other things, and you know, and you would say to yourself, like how we normally would, and I'll put the diagram there to say time of day, the light. We got dusk over here, and we got dawn on this side, and then you got high noon right in the middle. What light, what direction you want the light in? See, Nadine?
Oh, yeah.
How's that look on the screen, Nadine? Looks all right?
Oh, yeah, it looks good. No
Oh,
complaints over here.
okay. You know, Swan still with us? How's it going, Swan?
I don't know. She may have lost connection there. I know it looked like she was struggling a little bit with connection earlier. So I don't know.
Okay.
She
Hopefully
might be
she's there.
still, yeah, she might be still watching us.
Okay, that's good. But if you're still watching, Swan, what time of day do you want on your piece?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times a lot of our scenes are like early day type of situations.
Yeah.
But now you see why if you look at this piece, because if we went with a dusk light, that's a lot of shadow right there.
Yeah.
The sun is on the opposite side of the house. You see? If we do it high noon, then we know why he's got that cup in his hand and he's standing in the doorway like that. Could be lemonade or iced tea inside that cup, that Yeti cup.
Yeah, it sure could be. Could be anything.
Yeah, you know, it could be a toddy, you know, it could be a Long
Yeah.
Island,
Yeah.
could be a margarita, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Vacation time.
This is what I'm saying. This could be like, we don't know who how everybody's house looks. So this could be somebody that's part of our community. When they look out their back door, it's like this.
Yeah.
You
Or it's
know
a
what I mean?
VRBO and they're on vacation.
Yeah. Or you may be renting what they call those new things, those B&Bs.
Yeah. Yeah. Airbnb, it's VRBO. Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah. You know, then you start coming in and you show. So just pick a route where you're saying the light is coming from. And then just like how we talked about before with the idea of darks and lights, you know, once again, you could, how would you say, if I was to start, this in like if I was doing this with Sharpie or something, then yeah, I'm coming into the cup and I'm trying to finalize the cup. Uh-oh, uh-oh. There we go. Yeah, like I would come in here and I, start finalizing,
Mm-hmm.
making things look like the finish item. See, coming in even on the cup idea, finalizing it, line in there like that, so it looks like it had to twist on. You see, with the cap in there, with the front edge on it. See, this is when you start getting detail oriented, as we call it, or surface quality, as I call it. You see, start to make things smooth and run, turn, dip. Try to get it close to your own reality as you want, or close to reality as you need. You see, put that hand in there, and then you can go along the outside, filling it in, making that hand have more natural feeling
Mm-hmm.
in a connected stuff. You see?
Yeah.
This is where it's up to you if you wanted to seem more cartoony or you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to take more of a realistic look, then there's certain things you would do
Mm-hmm.
for the filling. You see? I'm gonna leave mine there on the filling because we're right at 8 o'clock. Don't want to overdo it. And you would do that all over. The same thing with the bushes. You would start to finalize that now and not worry about that shape. You would worry about more so the textures and then where those darks and lights are. You see, and then you would do a basic fill-in first, see, to say where things are. And then I would work towards the darkness at that point when it's black and white to see where the light is coming from. So this time I'm not going to pick where the light's coming from. I'm just going to leave it open for everybody to dictate which way they're going.
Mm-hmm.
And then see how many people came up with a nice equation to understand how light moves. Maybe look outside your house later on today or tomorrow to see how the light is moving. And then mimic the light around your own house, everybody. But you see the idea when you start to fill in. Maybe if I have the light here, it's still going to be a shadow on the cup here inside here, where the hand is here, you see?
Yeah.
In certain cases, shadows are just going to definitely be. See, and you show some for the turning here. Same thing with the arm. This will be dark in here. You see? And then now you would show these turning like so to go with the muscle. To show how the hand may be turning. Show how this knuckle is here and how the hand is turning this way to get to here and turn this way. See? And that would be the back of the hand. See how we got it to feel like a hand is really holding a cup?
Yeah.
Based up your hand holding the cup.
Yeah.
Marks would flow in that way to make us believe that curved motion of an arm or other things.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to use a curved motion or a curved mark. Same thing with the house to make it seem like it's more than what we're saying it is, and you would deal with those angles that you made.
Mm-hmm.
But are we definitely worried about the perspective? No, it's not a major concern. This is a basic concept for all types of personal views. Because if you just sit there and look at yourself and hold your hands out, this is how it looks to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like how you're seeing your face. You just see your appendages, your knee and stuff like that. If I took this a little bit deeper, then I may show a little bit of the nose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But then
that
you
would be
got to
good.
understand certain things to do that because you got two eyes that's being put together to make one single view.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll discuss that another time. The understanding on, how we absolutely see things to be able to manipulate them when they're not absolutely in front of us, to take something from nothing to a whole nother eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still there?
Oh yeah, I'm still there. I'm working. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working it. It's a beautiful process.
Yeah, because it's the most basic and fundamental,
Mm-hmm.
based upon your perception and your idea of what the environment is as you're going through it, rather than
Mm-hmm.
trying to beat yourself up to try to come up with an equation. It's just
Mm-hmm.
basically trying to make us all feel like you're just looking out into your own world
Just looking
and
out.
you're the basis. That's why I show the horizon or eye level idea set up first.
Mm-hmm.
You get that set up and then you're okay. You can make the room, space, domicile, whatever you want to make, take on the impression you want it to take on.
Mm-hmm.
The main point from these sessions is that you're the controller of that giving space,
Mm-hmm.
that environment. So you would control all placement of everything, all the feeling, the colors, and the lighting would be all on you to show your audience what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then once you're able to do it like this, then you can pull, it's endless the ideas that you can have because you're using your life experiences as the template.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just take the trees and make a painting based upon the trees. I can, so many different things you can do. It's just like if you had a photograph of this, you would zoom in certain areas and say, oh, there's the painting right there.
Right.
You can do it where they're abstract and everything. This is what a lot of artists do to get their ideas for painting. They explore their surroundings, extrapolate from it, pull it apart, put it together, pull it apart again, to find something, you're searching, you're
Mm-hmm.
excavating, you're deconstructing to reconstruct. So if you look at all these thoughts, you'll start to understand what's going on, and maybe that'll help to push your expressions and your creative moments in your journey a little bit further. What, 8:16? Okay. 15 more minutes. Look at this. Like, I can darken in where my clouds are, you see. And I can come in and embellish, put some of the marks on how that cloud is. Understanding the movement of clouds, that feeling. And then I'll fill it in a little bit underneath, so it feels like it's sitting on some air there, not too far above our head. See?
Mm-hmm.
Notice? And if you look at clouds a certain way that they're put together, like if you see one rumble this way or turn of the cloud like this, then there's going to be one in the middle like this,
Mm-hmm.
and one here, and one here. And see how that's starting to look like a cloud right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's functioning. You see? And you can put a little bottom on it. Should be some nice cloud cover tonight if you're in Philadelphia to get some nice dramatic sunsetting if you haven't seen it already. You see, and then I can put little elements of what the house is over here. You see, fill it in, put where the house is over here, the windows and stuff. Now the shrubbery out in front of their house, on the side of their house, for their backyard, more of the shrubbery currently there. You see? If that's far away, how are you going to tell what the details are on the bushes out there?
Right.
And now you're in your yard space here. So now you can start doing different embellishments here. See? Mark invention, mark making, inventing a mark to make us believe trees, even a tone. See how that feels like a distant idea?
Oh, yeah.
Like your neighbor is over there.
Yep.
See? And that's just using the idea of the size difference. So pretty much that house and this house is the same configuration. It's just that we can't tell what that house is because why? It's going to be smaller. So as soon as you make a smaller rectangular shape, like so, the mind of your audience is going to perceive it as what? A house further away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how simple it can be. Sometimes we make things too hard for ourselves. And then you just have to do it multiple times. Will somebody like the first one that you do? Probably not, probably so.
Mm-hmm.
But all I know is if you work in multiples, like how you see I work in, so then this way you'll have a series all the time. And then after the first five, things starts to become a flow if you really understand what you're doing with materials. So then you become a little bit more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to establish your ideas faster. And with that efficiency, be able to build a nice catalog and, you know, have nice series of works every time you think of an idea. Think about it. You can do series based upon a series is more than what? Well, I would say at least a good 20 is a nice series
Mm-hmm.
of any one thought, if you're going there. Because in this way, that'll make you marketable enough, whereas if you sell one, it won't hurt you that bad to get another one done. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes.
And more people want, then you have, 19 more that you can show.
Mm-hmm.
And while those 19 are showing, you can go ahead on and make some more once you know your process of that particular idea that you have. So this can be a whole idea based upon chilling in the backyard.
Yeah. Sure could be.
Could it be a t-shirt? Could it be a card?
It could be all of those.
Oh yeah, that's what I show people. Hopefully they won't forget where they got the information from. Or the notion or the idea or the thought or the fortitude to make it so.
Mhm.
All right, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much a wrap. Don, we did it again.
I didn't do nothing amazing. We just had a situation and we took a conversation and carried on our idea from something from nothing.
I,
Hopefully
I
the rest of
still I still have
Mhm.
some work to do, but I'm getting there. So I gotta finish the outline and work on there. But it's coming along. Yeah, awesome. Let me switch cameras. So anyway, everybody, I hope you had fun with us because this was nice. Yet another something from nothing. How you can make something from nothing. Part of our series, we just continue on the journey. And I think it's a great journey. And Don, you've just been unloading all the little goodies, and so appreciate what you bring to the space, um, for everyone. You know,
space is asking of me,
Mhm.
or what the space is asking of me.
Yeah, yeah. I just think it's I think it's beautiful. And I am so honored and happy to be a part of it. And I really want to hear from other people. What do you think about what we're doing, about this aspect of making something from nothing? How is it impacting you? What is it doing to your psyche, your mind? What are you thinking about? No, I can't do that. Or are you thinking, wow, it's really that simple? We want to hear from you. A lot of you are watching our videos, but you're not commenting. And your comments um, are important to us. We want to know how this is impacting you. So if it is, like this video, share this video, and comment on the video. And we really appreciate it. And I hope you like this time slot, 6 p.m., 8 p.m. We are a little late starting. Things happen, but we're here to create this space
You
for
still
all
got
of.
your half hour back, everybody. So we're
Mhm.
going to 8:30 now.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not like you're losing out, but but really we want you to get fired up about creating. That's really what it's all about. And creating in the everyday, not just when you're on vacation, but every day. And and I think one of the biggest takeaways, I was taking notes. So sometimes you saw me look over to the side. It was because I was writing down things like every human experience is a creative experience. You know, it's a creative experience. It's some time whether you create from the words that come out of your mouth, the facial expressions. I got a lot of facial expressions, I know. Silence, music, you know, the pitter patter of a woman walking with heels down a hardwood floor in hallway, screeching of a chalkboard, you know, tapping on a plastic container. All there's so many different creative moments happening. And just pay attention, be observant, look at the clouds, watch the rain fall and hit the window, you know, stick your head out the window and feel it against your face. Just get pumped, you know? And I thought one other thing I wanted to mention too, which I thought was key to this approach at today, was deciding where the horizon line is, deciding where your eye level is, which is so very important to
And
the
again,
objects.
we did that in every one. That's
Right,
not.
but I know I'm not saying that it's new, but I'm just saying it's like, yeah, it's,
Oh, Nadine, it's what we've been doing from the beginning. If you go
yes,
back and look at the videos, we always talk about the placement of the eye level or the
yes,
horizon.
yes.
Point out why it's so.
Mhm.
It's not a new phenomenon. I have to
It's
say
not a
that.
new phenomenon. No, it's not a new phenomenon. It's just the fact that going back to that and then deciding, deciding where is the light coming from, you know, and then from that approach is your shading.
We do that
So
in every one as well. That's not
absolutely.
that's a new thought or a new
I'm
how would you
not,
say, whatever
mhm.
the case may be. This is something that you just do.
This is
I
something
don't.
that we just do. I don't know if everybody does it, Don. So I guess that was just a key point. And
See, that's where the problem is. It is what everybody does. How do you get up in the morning and look outside and appreciate the sunlight like how we getting you to appreciate it in this session? You do the same thing every day.
yes, I agree. I just don't
It's
think
not
that
about
everyone,
agreeing, it's just that's fact. That's why the idea of the t-shirt comes about
yes.
when my eyes open, it's on.
Hmm.
All of
Hmm.
that is definite. It's a fact. It's not something that can be that has to be guessed upon or anything.
Hmm.
These are things that absolutely have to happen because you're here. I'm
Right.
saying one that because you're here and you was creative, all the things that we've been saying from those other videos from 3 years ago all the way up to now, If you
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to those things, you'll hear that we've been saying this, or I've been
Oh,
saying it long.
mm-hmm.
It's
And
whether
I've
or
been
not
going, wow, you're so right. That makes sense. Why haven't I been thinking about that? I guess that's I think it's just one of those things that when your eyes open, when
you're
they
retired. I'll go
Mhm,
straight to the point. You're retired and you're outside of what we would call the rat race idea. Whereas you're not, you take away your opportunity to observe the way I'm asking everybody to do.
mhm,
So out of survival, being part of the rat race idea, you strip all of this away, but you're doing it to get to where you need to be. You're
right.
doing it to feed yourself. You're doing it to clothe yourself, to adorn yourself.
Mhm,
All these things are creative moments. All these things are expressive moments.
mhm,
So you're
mhm,
painting and drawing all day with your eyes and your mind. You just don't see it as that. And the
mhm,
minute that every human being does that, I'm saying that that's what's going to make society a whole lot more better because you're going to
right,
have more observant individuals. Right
right.
now, we have a whole bunch of individuals that's utilizing what? Emotion rather
Mm,
than motivation.
right.
So they'll go into your internal macro world and pull out all the emotional aspects. Not a bad thing, but what are we talking about here? How should you use that space, that
Mhm,
nothingness?
mhm, mhm. Yeah. How should you use it? That's and that's I
I'm
think
saying to you, you can't tell everybody what they can or cannot do, but give a suggestion. This is
right,
what we've been doing or what I've been doing,
right.
giving you the suggestions that's needed so it'll unlock the idea for you to start appreciating your world
Mhm,
and expressing from it the way that's needed.
mhm,
So
mhm,
that is the answer, the ultimate resolution. It is up to the human to believe it. It's up to the human to have the experience or be aware or be observant of the experience. If
mhm.
not, then it's on you as a human being at that point.
Right. And
But
everything just passes you by.
no, not that it passes you by, it's just that you don't take any note.
Right.
You don't pay attention to it at all. You rather just go to the TV, turn on the TV, and have your experiences based upon TV.
Mhm, mhm,
Anything that has to do with outside or stuff like that, no, it has to be in a controlled environment.
mhm. Yeah.
This is what it is. This is and then this is why the arena of expressing oneself becomes this whole type of situation because people have all these different notions instead of what actually expression and these things really are.
Mhm,
Really
mhm,
channeling parts of your everyday. You're
mhm,
really connecting and then trying to pull from that nothingness to resolve issues and situations and things.
mhm, mhm.
So you use this nothingness world all the time. I'm saying to people, I'm saying have a linear equation moment
Mhm.
because that's what this is. You're working on a two-dimensional piece of paper. It's flat, and you're trying to make everybody believe that it has a function or have a movement or it
Mhm.
has a absolute.
Mhm. Is there an absolute?
Yeah, you're living in it.
Mhm.
That's what the experience is based upon. That's what the light show is all about. You're in a light
Mhm.
show.
The light show.
It's all around you. It's a light show. Refraction, reflection, and absorption, right?
Mhm, mhm.
I'm not saying nothing new. I'm just
No,
letting
I
you know
know.
what the artist's eye is. Or when you
Mhm,
use your childlike mind, or when you use your creative mind to
mhm,
observe and really be in an observant way,
mhm, mhm,
you know?
mhm.
And this is where I can have fun, where I would have people say, oh, the land is round or it's circumference.
Or
Well, I look
splat.
at the and when I'm in somebody's backyard, I see something that comes close to this. I don't see things that
Mhm,
curve. So see what I'm saying? I see
mhm,
circumference, but I don't see curve because you
Mm-hmm.
lose some spirit. So,
Mm-hmm.
when you're
Mm-hmm.
doing drawings like that, you're answering a lot of those questions if you really want to look into it.
Right. Right.
But it's from having these observant times, when you're looking and you're observing, you may be standing on a deck like that with your cup. You're just
Mm-hmm.
observing and taking it all in, the beauty of what you're in.
Mm-hmm.
You
In
know, and then,
nature.
yeah, well, nature is always on.
It's
Whether you
always
go
on.
before. Yeah, it is. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it. If
Mm-hmm.
you ask people where is
Where's
nature, they
nature?
go
You're
to
in
the
nature.
well, that's what I tell people, and then they get mad at me. It's, don't get mad at me. You're not understanding that you're always in nature. You're never
Yeah.
separate from it.
Mm-hmm.
Never separate from it. Even when you
Mm-hmm.
close your door, close your window, you're not separate from it.
Mm-hmm.
What you call in a building is still in nature, and you still functioning in nature.
Mm-hmm.
You're just in an enclosed environment. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah, don't get mad when a bear comes and walking around.
Yeah, or even a deer jump through
Or
that
a
deck window.
deer or a fox.
Well, a fox won't really jump through the window and cause that much damage. But
No.
I've seen elk, deer out in this area. Uh, as far as the black bear, I've seen the black bear, squirrels, and big old raccoons that'll tear up stuff.
Oh yeah. Possums. We get
On
possums.
the top of your roof to get into the rafters of your house.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what I mean? Just observing nature and what it does when you're in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and how it moves. What do leaves look like? What's a cloud? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why a balloon? Why a cloud? Why a
Mm-hmm.
deck?
Mm-hmm.
Always chasing the why. What does the deck look like? How does it
Mm-hmm.
changes from 30 years ago to now, or 50 or 60 years ago to now? How would
Mm-hmm.
this scene be different? It would totally be a mug cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
You can tell the time, the age of what's going on by what someone's drinking out of.
Yeah. And that's why I like putting the hot air balloons because it throws that into a
Throw some.
dilemma. Monkey wrench in there. Like, why is that hot balloon in there? And he has a cup that looks like a modern cup.
I'm like, that's Don's work.
Yeah. But think about it. That's the type of situation we in.
Mm-hmm.
What's past? What's future? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put a hot air balloon in something quick
Mm-hmm.
instead of putting an airplane and a jet.
Seagull.
Well, I could put seagulls and birds, but that's nothing more than a couple of little M shapes at that
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
Unless I'm saying that the bird is right here.
A
So if I'm
hawk.
saying the
Hawk coming
X,
down.
then the bird would be at its biggest here. I'll make the
Mm-hmm.
body for the bird.
Oh, nice. Now you're watching a bird.
You see, now you got the bird there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then now you can have the smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I can make it look like they're closer by having one here,
Mm-hmm.
here, and erase out this area here. And now I got bird.
Birds.
See? I can color
Oh, look, accidentally Swab popped up. Yo, what's up? He said I asked the question, do you believe every human experience is a creative experience? And then I guess he came in when we were talking about things being separate. He said, definitely not separate. It's in the world and environment. And then he says, I like the hot air balloons too. I made a drawing once where the brain was the hot air balloon and an eyeball character was in the basket using a telescope. He says it
there
was,
you go.
yep, he said it was a cartoony style. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's dope.
Got
That's
birds in there, in it just with basic shapes. And the same thing with distance.
mm-hmm,
Anything close to where that hand is going to be bigger.
right.
Anything vertical and is near or at the plane of where the house is all going to be a larger size than the stuff on the other side of the house and going up away from the sky where the air
Mm-hmm,
balloon is.
mm-hmm,
You see? And
mm-hmm,
it leads towards that space. So I
right.
know Mr. C understands all of that, and I hope he appreciates this session that we had. And I hope
Yeah.
church was pretty good and his day was good today. We didn't get to
Yeah.
talk.
I hope you got your church on.
Yeah, man.
He said, thanks. Hope y'all are doing well. Yes, yes, we are. Yes, if you get a chance and or if you saw the earlier part where Don was talking about some of his experiences, definitely go back and play that out. He dropped some knowledge there. Um, that's why we're here really to support each other, inspire each other to keep creating. And we're all artists. That's what it just really comes down to it. Um, why we do the work, the intent is up to us, whether it's to create or to make a sale. That's basically what we were talking about. And either or is beautiful. It's beautiful to be able to be alive and create, you know. But yeah, that hot air balloon, every Don, you got to put that hot air balloon in there. I don't know if I'm going to put a bird in there,
Yeah,
but
here's a bird. Here's a bird here. Here's a bird here on the deck there.
yeah, yours, I still need some work. I got to work through a few things, but yours definitely. Yeah, that's what's up.
If I was doing it for myself, I would add and do a lot more different things. But for the purposes of what we do here in our group draw-alongs, we try to keep it as simple as possible so that everybody else can have a further experience with it. Even still here, this
Mhm,
experience, even though I'm engaged and I'm having an experience, it's not mainly for me though. It's
mhm.
for everybody else to have an idea on how to make this more common to you on the everyday.
Yeah.
The only way to do it is to start saying to yourself, it's easy. Yeah, I know there's some complications. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? There's some challenges in doing these, but notice the words that I'm choosing to use.
Mhm.
Challenge,
Challenge.
intrigue,
Mhm.
rather than, oh man, I can't do it. It's
Right.
too hard. It's hard. No, if you
Yeah.
switch up those words, then you'll gradually start to see how it'll switch up in your mind. And
Mhm.
then the idea of persistence and high repetition is going to get you there. Do you have
Mhm.
the question is do you have to do a piece every time to have a creative moment? I say no, because you can have a creative visualization
Creative
session.
visualization. Yes. That's
Yeah.
important to whatever you're going to develop. Yes. Yes.
I
Uh,
say to every human being, develop it. You see it in your head when you may be mad and you may be about to have an altercation with somebody, and like in the movies, you can see it happening before it happens.
hmm I'm going to do this and do
That's your
that.
creative visualization.
hmm
I say to everybody, develop it, use it. It.
hmm
It becomes key in your creative realm if you're
hmm
able to become one with that and
hmm
understand how to use it.
hmm Uh,
So,
I, I
mhm.
was I was going to say accidentally suave, Chris. Art is essential for my mental health. God definitely made me an artist. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all
And that's
artists.
Yeah, and that's everyone, Chris. That's everybody.
hmm
You know what I mean?
He said
Accident.
sketch. Yeah, he said sketchbooks really helped me learn that not everything needs to be a finished piece, and
There you go.
led to me drawing and painting more. Yes, that's why I have mine. I'm starting now
Hmm.
as I dive more into it. Yes, yes. So having the sketchbooks are so important, and we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
do it with your phone too. You can do a picture like a photo journal. where you
Mm-hmm.
just taking pictures and you put them in a file on your phone.
Mm-hmm. I do that. I do that. That has been my thing.
Personal notes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the voice activated, the audio aspect of doing a note of yourself if you're someplace and you put that audio on and record yourself,
Yeah.
telling yourself about what's going on in that environment or space and place, and
Mm-hmm.
keep it in, how would you say, get an external hard drive. They're not that expensive now,
No,
everybody.
not at all.
You can get a nice one in between 40 to maybe $80. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
I have one right here.
Yeah, there
Um,
you go. Yeah.
it's kind of an Accord. It's
Was
a
it like
Samsung. I'm sorry.
Samsung? Yeah, is it
Samsung. It's
how
a
was
T5, T3, T5.
mm-hmm.
So I think it's 2 terabytes. Sorry, I was all over the place with that, but it's on Accord. But I use that and it's great. And then it's the filing, trying to keep it organized, but I'm getting better with that. But I have photos from just all kinds of photos. And the cell
Oh,
phone, your cell phone is such a great
asset
tool.
now, as far as that's concerned with documenting and photojournalism and audio journal and all of this. Your phone is excellent for it now. Your tablet,
Wow.
your iPhone, your iPad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you should be, documenting all the time, not just taking video to go and and say World Star and all this stuff, but
Yeah, I was
just
here. Yeah, no, I know what you
yeah.
mean.
But to be a creative person right now, to have your own files is be very important.
Mm-hmm.
And I would suggest everybody try it and do it. Do you have to? Should you do it every day? I'm saying yeah, but if you can't, that's okay. Then even 5 minutes on a day is good.
And it's really not that hard. I mean, you might be walking down the street and look up and see the most beautiful clouds or birds on the telephone wire, or cable wire or electrical wire, or whatever, and you take a picture of it. And it's just something that captured your eye at that moment. And that's what I think is the fun part. Just don't do it while you're driving.
There you go. Or you wind up with a high deductible. You don't want that high deductible, everybody.
No, you see, you gotta just be mindful of that.
Yeah,
I
that's why
was,
I'm on the bike now, man. I
yeah,
can't take the high insurance and deductible, man.
or lose your life. Like, I just got back from Virginia Beach, so I drove across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. When you on
Woo.
that bridge, okay, you don't need to be going, oh, look at that seagull. No,
Yeah, you better pull over, at one of the rest stops. You know what I mean? It ain't that much
no,
space.
you can't be doing that on that bridge. That's it. You
Not
gotta
unless it's
stay
right in
focused.
front of you.
You gotta stay
If it's
focused.
right in
And
front of you, looking right ahead. Ooh, look at how the sky looks right in front of me. Yes, so you
I
can see the cars. But if
no,
you want to do the type of looking that we're talking about or alluding to,
no,
it,
you
stop
need
at
to
a
be a
rest.
passenger.
Oh, yeah, that's better yet. A passenger, either in the back seat or on the other side, the driver's side. Either which way, you have to be in those two positions, or you need to be at a rest stop.
Yep, yep. And you know what? The rest stop was closed off for construction, so I couldn't even do that.
Oh, that's the worst when
Yeah,
that happens. That's the
yeah.
worst.
But accidentally Suave is talking about vacation. He says pictures are good to grab too if you're on vacation somewhere, as it can be very different from your everyday environment. Yeah, I agree with you. I guess the argument is, do you have to be on vacation to be inspired to take pictures?
I'm not worried about that. I'll let everybody else argue and debate that. I'm saying this is something that people do on the everyday.
Yeah, and we
That's why
are talking about the
I
everyday. So yeah. So the
don't
difference.
worry about if I'm on vacation in a fancy spot. I don't worry about all of that. If I want to have an experience and I want to use
Mhm,
something from that experience that intrigued me at that moment, I'm just going to start taking pictures and boom, because
mhm,
that's my own private reason. And my private reason doesn't need to be dictated by others at that point. You
right.
see? So I would suggest to everyone, if your only reason is because you're on vacation, then okay, I understand, but I would push you more towards an everyday existence.
Absolutely. And because, one of the things, one of our other sessions where you shared a piece, Oh, he said, oh, I didn't mean it exclusively. We got you. We got you.
We
We were
got
just talking about the fact,
like 8:47, so we towards that end part now. So you know what I mean. It's time to
oh,
relinquish this situation. I ain't trying to go 9, 10 o'clock. You know what I mean. Now this is
this
where I
is a
got to be.
Virginia.
This is
I'm
not like
sorry.
o'clock. You know what I mean?
I
This is
know.
not 12 going to 1 or 2. Okay, you know what I mean? That was
So
the
this,
danger 6 o'clock
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Okay, I got you.
We want to
So
go a half an hour. Now we over and going to 45 minutes.
uh,
Nah, we gotta, time to
uh,
stop. You know what
uh,
I mean?
got
Virginia,
you.
goodbye. Go. We
It
see
is
you
a definite
next
Virginia goodbye. So we will close with one last thing, which accidentally Swap says, just as it don't forget to continue the daily practice if you are on a trip, observe surroundings and etc. So I agree. And accidentally Suave, I just want to say as we close, because we gotta go, but this has been amazing. I'm glad you were able to come up and share your thoughts with us and we have this creative moment. You take care of yourself, keep creating, and everyone out there, please keep creating. Thank you for joining us for the stream. He says, thanks for streaming. Thank you, Don. You're amazing. And we're out, y'all.
All
Um,
right, everybody. Keep creating.
keep creating,
Yeah.
everybody.
See you next week.